Discover yourself. Just discover yourself. Or be yourself. Shakespeare once said, "To thine own self be true." Sounds noble. Sounds harmless. A word that's used in culture and also in the church is this word authenticity. It is a word that I think is equally as harmful as it is helpful. At the heart of biblical authenticity, you'll find biblical concepts like humility, sincerity, and honesty. These are, of course, really good things. But again, what Satan has done and is doing is he's twisting this very good thing, and he's leading more and more Christians down a path of deconstruction and denial of Jesus because, just to be clear, it's never going to be packaged to you as, hey, deny Jesus and go discover yourself. He's craftier than that. No one would take that road. It sounds more like, I'm just gonna go on a journey to discover my true self. Or it'll sound like, hey, I took this assessment, and this assessment told me this about myself, so it must be true. Again, on the surface, discovering and being your authentic self seems harmless, except that I've seen it and experienced it in my own life time and time again. We go on this journey of self, often with the best of intentions. And it goes from, I'm going to discover myself or be myself, to this is who I am. And then it turns into, this is how God made me. And then it turns into, this is who God must be. And if you look carefully, what you found is you've just created God in your own image. Except the doctrine of the Imago Dei says that we have been created in his image. And once you embrace that, you cannot stay there and convince yourself that everything you do is just the image of God, because you have to move on to the original sin, which is, while you were created in the image of God, you are sinful. You were born with a sin nature. And if you don't accept this, you will never get to the doctrine of salvation, that because of the saving grace of Jesus, you're made back into the image of God. And if you miss out on this, you miss out on the doctrine of sanctification, which is an ongoing putting off of self, which has been buried with Christ. It seems harmless, but it's dangerous. And Jesus offered us the perfect antidote to discovering ourselves in Matthew 16, verse 24. My son didn't like that I picked on him, so now he's walking out. Way to go. Come on. He's got a basketball game. Jesus offered us the perfect antidote to discovering ourselves. Matthew 16, 24, it says this: Then Jesus said to his disciples, whoever, by the way, wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me. He didn't say, if you want to follow me, you got to discover yourself. He didn't say, if you want to follow me, just be yourself. He said, if you want to follow me, you have to deny yourself. And oh, by the way, if that's not enough, he said, you got to take up your cross. What does he mean? You have to die to yourself if you want to follow me. The myth is discover yourself. It sounds good. It sounds enticing. It's actually not all bad. The truth is deny yourself. In this call to follow him, Jesus used a critical word that I emphasized. It was the word whoever, because in Jesus' day, whoever wanted to didn't actually get to follow a rabbi. It was only for the smart kids. So by default, I wouldn't have been able to follow a rabbi. I barely got a high school degree. Dan would have been able to, because he's smart. But it was for the wealthy and those from influential families, and by the way, for boys only. Whoever didn't get to. But Jesus said, whoever, anybody, everybody wants to follow me, they must deny themselves, though. In saying this, Jesus cut right through this debate and conflict about inclusivity and exclusivity that we have in Christianity and culture has about us as Christians. What Matthew 16, 24 is saying, and I've said this before, is that Jesus is so inclusive that he has offered to all people. And by all people, what I mean is all people. He's so inclusive that he has offered to all people the way which is exclusive. All people can come. All people are welcome. The way, though, is exclusive. This is why we have always been about this doctrine. Everyone at Mission Church can come to the feet of Jesus. It doesn't matter what you come with. It doesn't matter what sin is in your past. You should see my past. You should see what I brought to Jesus. All can come. And at the same time, we are going to continue to point you to the exclusive way, which is Jesus. See, a lot of people want to come to Jesus. They want to be like Jesus and maybe even follow Jesus because that's cool. Jesus is cool. Except that following Jesus is a call to deny yourself, and that's not cool. It's never been cool and will never be cool until the day Jesus returns, like we sang about, then it's going to be cool. Everybody's going to want a piece of that. I'm telling you because I've tried it. I've gone on this journey of myself. You want to know what I found on my journey of discovering myself? Myself. And it didn't take me long to realize that myself could never satisfy myself. Everything that satisfies, that you're searching for, can only be found in and through the person of Jesus Christ. All of the wonderful, beautiful, amazing parts of you that are real and exist, they won't be found in yourself. They're found in Christ.